Hello and welcome back to Science. We are starting a brand new unit today. I'm very excited for this. The topic for the day is observation stations. You'll need to have your notebook with you if you don't already have that. Go get it if you don't have it with you. In your notebook, we got, I think, 11 stations here. For each one of them, I'd like you to record the following. You don't need to be super elaborate with this, but do be clear enough for yourself that later on you can recall what happened. For each station, I'd like you to write down what was done. Not necessarily the full set of directions, but what was done. Then I'd also like you to write down what you observed. Emphasis on observed. No inferences, and emphasize with what you observed any changes that were happening. So the big concept here is what changes were happening. Station number 1 is Pop-Up Toys. Nice part is you can do this one at home if you happen to have any of these. I'm just going to push these down. So what was done was pop-up toys were pushed down. Three, two, one. Give you that one more time just so you can see these. If you have that at home, you're probably going to be really tempted to play with them over and over. Like I do. Yes, these are my own toys. I would share them with you if you were here. Which one's going to be first? Which one's going to be first? Whee! Oh, whoa. Okay, so what I would record in this one for the what was done was they were pushed down until the pressure cup was engaged. I'll let you figure out what changes happened. Record those. On to the next station. Station number 2 is a drinking bird. Now, you need to know that in order to get this started, I had to hold this little bird's head underwater for a few seconds. Since then, it is just doing this on its own. I'll step back in a second and zoom in, but you'll want to pay attention to what is happening. Let me zoom in. Maybe you'll see it. I'll zoom in for about 2 cycles of it. For 2 cycles of it. For station 3, we have the inclined plane cart. I'm just going to give this a slight push. So any one of these is what we're looking for. Mostly what we're considering is after I give it the push. So my action is giving it a slight push up the hill. That's it for that one. Station 4, collision carts. All I'm going to do is send these toward each other slowly. Again, we are most concerned with what happens after I let go. Excellent. Station 5 is a goldfish station. I don't actually have goldfish on me, but I have a little cheese puff. Nice part is you can do this with anything you have at home. Cheetos, cheese puffs, goldfish, anything like that will work. I turned the lights off because I ran this once already and all you could see was aluminum foil, way too glary. Hopefully this will work a little bit better. It is sitting there. I've got a little air channel underneath it and I light it with a lighter. As soon as this is going, I will back away. Really, it does work. If you did not guess, it feels warm above it as well. That is probably a good observation to note. And a little bit of bonus material for you. There are certainly a number of changes that are taking place. Be sure to record them. All right, we are on to station number 6, tuning forks. Directions say that I'm to pick them up and hit them with this rubber mallet. And this other one as well. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer so you can hear better, possibly. The other thing the directions say is to insert the tuning fork into a bowl of water. Now, if you were here, the directions would say get down really, really close to watch. If you happen to have a tuning fork at home, get down really, really close into a bowl of water and try this for yourself before you watch this. That was fun. Let's do it one more time. On to the next station. For station 7, this will be a little bit trickier to do at home. Still very doable. I have 2 very similar size plates. One happens to be made out of wood. The other happens to be made out of metal. I'm going to set ice cubes on them. Again, this is the metal, this is the wood. They've both been sitting here. They've just been sitting here. All you are doing is making observations now about ice melting. I'm going to step back and zoom in on this. I'd like you to please note that this is not a sped up recording. This is at regular time. I suppose I should have put a stopwatch in there going, but this is not sped up by any amount. Again, I did not speed that up at all. You saw what happened to that one. As for this one, there's a little tiny bit. On to Station 8. For Station 8, we have a collection of Windup Toys. Once again, if you have any of these at home, feel free to use them. I'm just going to show you several of them. Pick one. You don't try and report on all of these. I've got a cricket. We've got George's favorite, dinosaur. We've got a weird bird. And perhaps even creepier cockroach. We're coming into Halloween season, so we've got a little witch who no longer works. It's not October yet, apparently, as I'm filming this. Sorry, she died. Dorothy threw a bucket of water on her. It was all over. I've got an awesome snowman. This one's one of my favorites. This guy cuts up the slopes of a classroom desk. And my favorite of them all is this little one. This one probably works best for here, but my favorite of them is, and yes, I stole this from my daughter. It was a gift to her from her dentist. I took it. What you gonna do? Number 9 is an Air Zooka. If you're lucky enough to have one of these at home, please go ahead and use that. Taking a look at it, it's just a tube. On the inside, I've got some elastic such that when I pull this back and then let go, this gets pulled in very quickly and a shot of air comes out. Let me demonstrate a little bit better. If you have these, they're great fun for messing with pets and messing with little siblings or your parents, or perhaps even students in the hallways, but I would never do that. For Station 10, we have the Tumble Buggy. It's a little battery-operated vehicle. When I turn it on, you'll notice wheels moving, light flashing. Lights are on in the front as well. Lights are on, flashing, wheels turning. I'm going to set it and let it run through here. Partly we're watching what happens. You're also going to watch what happens when it hits the door. And for the last of our observation stations, this is one everybody can do at home. Nice and simple. Probably wash your hands first. what I'm going to have you do is touch your dry hands to your face. And then I want you to rub your hands vigorously together and touch them again. Kind of, I'm hoping that this is what you were seeing during all those other observation stations. I hope you were saying in pure excitement. Partly you want to notice what is different the first time from the second time, from before rubbing your hands until after. All right, let's wrap up what we learned from these observation stations. What was the theme amongst all of these stations? Many of you right now, two things. The thing that I was hoping you were going to say is, hey, there were changes happening in all of these. Awesome. To be honest, you guys are pretty darn smart. Many of you probably said, ooh, it had to do with energy. And you're right. And you guys, you've been studying energy in school since elementary school. You did it in middle school, you did it all through high school. This must be easy for you. So get out your notebook real quickly. I'd like you to just jot down a quick working definition for energy. Just real quick, go ahead and write that down. No, don't Google it. I don't want that. Just quick working definition off the top of your head for energy. Many of you are very frustrated right now. Some of you might be embarrassed. If you were here in class and I asked this question, honestly, I would expect to be seeing mostly blank stares and a couple brave souls who are willing to give something of an answer that might not be a very good answer. Don't stress about this. It's the way it is. A couple of years ago, I took this class as a student. A whole bunch of science teachers pretended that we were the students, and we had a master teacher teaching. He asked us, what is energy? And we gave those same blank stares. And I, for one, was really kind of embarrassed that all I had was a textbook definition instead of a deep understanding, reasonable definition. I thought I understood it. I did not have it down very well. So perhaps energy is one of those things that I may not know what it is, but I'll recognize it when I see it. So your assignment for tomorrow, I'd like you to, in your notebook, make a list of examples of energy. Just examples of energy. Make a list, take no more than 5 minutes, make a list, especially if you are in 5th hour. Tomorrow we're going to come in with that going on. If you were live in class, I would give you guys 5 minutes in your teams to whiteboard a list, and then we do listy list with this, go around and get everything up on the board. We'll have to make it work in the virtual world. So have a list coming in for 5th hour tomorrow. I apologize for getting this out so late to you today. It's been a lot going on. But with that, we conclude our observation stations. Have a great day.